We're joined by Mr. Paul Thomson. He's Vice Chairman of British Conservatives in Paris. Mr. Thomson, welcome back to TVP World. Thanks for taking the time.
Good morning, and thank you for your invitation.
Good morning. Now, 108 minutes speaking at the Sorbonne. President Macron addressed a number of areas, including, of course, geopolitical and economic. But he's issued a rather stark warning to Europe, has he not? And saying Europe is mortal, it can die. How do you read those words?
Emmanuel Macron is someone who has quite a predilection for striking statements, and that needs to be taken into account. If the same words came from the mouth of Mr. Schulz in Germany, it would be more shocking, I guess. But
unlikely, though.
Unlikely, that's right. No, but that's not to say there's no meaning behind the words. Emmanuel Macron, since he became president in 2017, has been pushing the idea that Europe should work towards its so-called strategic autonomy, and with the war in Ukraine, he has an additional argument, if you like, to that effect, and I think that these words were intended to operate as a wake-up call to Europeans, to the European political elites in particular, to take French ideas about strategic autonomy more seriously.
Right, and staying also with the fact that Europe should work on strategic autonomy. Now, in a joint opinion piece with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, recently Macron emphasized that the European Union must take dramatic efforts to improve its competitiveness. But how do you think that Macron wants to balance the assertiveness on the global stage without alienating now other EU member states?
Well, I think he's trying to win over other EU member states by convincing them that there is a genuine need, an objective need. It's not just a French idea. There are objective facts on the ground which demonstrate that Europe needs to be to look after itself. In a more complete way, including on the defense front, and it's interesting to see the reaction in Germany. I read just yesterday evening a commentary by an interview in the Figaro with the head, Mr. Heusgen, who's the head of the Munich Security Conference, which is a major international security conference. And the line that he took, Mr. Heusgen, was, yes, Mr. Macron is correct that Europe needs to do more to protect itself, but, and this is the German line that's always followed, but the relationship with NATO comes first, if you were, but one does not need to exclude the other. And he added that he agrees that in the medium to longer term, the United States will be focusing more and more on the Asia Pacific region, and that therefore the need for Europe to take its defense into its own hands to a greater extent than today, at any rate, is will indeed become greater over time. So in Germany, it's interesting that although there is still basically a rejection of the idea of strategic autonomy and also of a French nuclear shield, there is still some agreement with the idea that Europe needs to do more and also needs to think of a backup solution, because who knows what will happen in the United States over the next 10 to 15 years. Maybe its engagement in Europe will be less. Personally, I don't think so, but you don't know what there is a certain amount of uncertainty.
Right. But he has a point generally about Europe having to come together for its own defence, doesn't he? I mean, Polish Foreign Minister Sikorski, for example, is restricting the movement of Russian diplomats, everyone excluding the ambassador, of course. And Poland is not the only country to be doing so. So he does have a point, bearing in mind Russia's predilection for hybrid warfare. It seems to be doing this across Europe, and Europe must have a united response. Would you agree?
Yes, I think that's quite clear. There are in the United Kingdom, there has recently also been a lot of attention devoted to this very point, and the United Kingdom has adopted additional measures to work against that. So absolutely, that's one illustration, but a very relevant one of the broader point that it behooves the Europeans to work together to address these threats.
Indeed. Paul Thomson, thank you so much for sharing your insights and being with us here on TVP World.
Thanks for your invitation. Have a good day.